Hey everybody, before you continue watching the video, make sure you give the channel a like and subscribe. Go and follow us on Instagram. Go and check out all the different social media scenarios. Make sure if you're enjoying the content, go there, like, subscribe, follow, so we can keep putting stuff out. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. All right, make a comment on either of our pages and we'll answer them as soon as we can.
Difficult thing. I found it with myself as well. When the first thing that will come most of the time, certain things we kind of postponing, etc. We know we should have done, but we don't do it.
Yeah.
Procrastinated. We think about that. The first thing that will come to our mouth sometimes is excuse. And we can see that clearly coming from other people. When I ask them, man, why have you done? The first thing or two things that will get is two excuses that I go like, what?
Oh, the
man, it's just crazy. You go, what? So you're saying that you're doing this because you're not having time, but this is actually going to give you more time? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But we cannot.
Paradox.
So I do and think a lot. When I say something, I go and kind of rethink what I said and go, man, that's an excuse. And I think a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a massive excuse that I just made it up. And come on, go and get it done. You know?
Yeah.
And because excuses are the easiest thing to come. Yeah. It's just natural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why didn't I? Yeah, so I didn't make it even to the Q Cup level. I played A-grade rugby league. And if you ask someone else who played Q Cup or got to that roughly that level, and I'm not saying everyone, but the general person, and they'll go, oh, my knee blow out, or the coaches didn't like me, or I didn't have any connections. And
those might be contributing factors, but
ask the people that made it. And they go, I just didn't stop working. I didn't stop working.
They made the difficulties actually an extra mile of gas and energy.
And I had that attitude about rugby and shit. The same thing. Like I would be upset because you didn't get picked for this stuff, and like there's always contributing factors and all this social stuff and all this bullshit. But maybe you just weren't good enough, or maybe you didn't keep pushing for long enough, and maybe all these other things as well. Like, I accept that as well. You know what I mean? And there's things that you're not happy about, but it's too fucking bad, man. Life is this. If you push for long enough and hard enough and do your time, eventually, and you're good enough, you should get there. You should. But if you don't, you failed on one of those areas. And that's why, and I've said this before, life should always be a meritocracy, and you should be rewarded for what you've done and what you've achieved as opposed to who you are. Who you are is not a thing. This is just
who you are is what you do.
That's what it should be. But
it allows you to breathe. But that's about it.
Correct. But like, people now value themselves on who they are or their persona or what they think they are. That doesn't mean shit. What does that produce? What does that give? What does that give? Nothing. It's just your view of yourself or your view of someone else. What have they produced? What have they created? What have they given back to the world?
The problem is the view of yourself. If your view of yourself doesn't match the view of what people think of you, your view of yourself is
wrong.
Extremely wrong. Like, you need to
adjust
go home and have a big look in that mirror and
for sure.
Maybe have some self-growth in there somewhere.
100%.
But, for people when they do ask
they're not congruent with their life, correct? They're like, they believe they're this, but in actuality, this is what's happening. Yeah. And this is a byproduct of all these attitudes we talked about where you just remove accountability and you're just like, well, I'm just good how I am and life's perfect and I'm going to be a world champion tomorrow and all this bullshit. And that's the type of delusion that you build in yourself by adopting these attitudes, man.
Yeah,
and it's a rude awakening when you realize. It's a rude awakening, man.
Yeah,
because life is always going to tell you it's just a matter of time.
Melbourne Storm take in players every year, sort of thing, and they do like I think they do like an SAS, the 3-day camp thing, every training, every season. So usually it's a whole heap of young fellas and maybe a couple of imports.
Yeah.
And I remember this one year, I think there's a player called Kevin Proctor. He plays at the Titans now, and I think this was his biggest life learning curve. I'm pretty sure it was him. He said that so this SAS thing is everyone put your name in the hat of the player you don't want next to you, like in your barracks, like you're shooting off and
you're going to die.
You're going to die, and this is the player you don't want with you. and like say there was 15, I don't know how many there was, but say there was 15, every single player put his name down. Said, no,
Fuck.
we don't want this guy with us. Like, he'll get us
He's
killed.
not a part of the team, yeah.
Yeah. And he took that and he took it on board, and he became a starting second row for the Melbourne Storm, which is no easy feat, you know.
Yeah.
Played for New Zealand now, and captain New Zealand, captain the Titans.
Yeah.
Like, he grew from that.
He changed his personality.
Yeah.
Man,
Based
good
on
on
that
the
feedback,
coach is probably
yeah.
something that the coach thought about doing. You know what I mean? Very
mate,
smart
Any
if he
sort of
did
that
that.
sort of stuff. You know,
Yeah, this
leadership.
personal development,
Yeah.
leadership
Very
shit.
smart, man.
Especially when you're at that level, you know, and because obviously he thought he was it. Obviously he thought, oh man, I have to.
I'm
do
the
this,
best guy
you know?
ever, whatever.
And they're like, you're the guy we don't want in the trenches.
Man, you know what the crazy thing is like, this is a high level athlete that's actually achieved something with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Man, you know what's crazy now is the general person thinks like that.
Yeah, man.
The average human being
Old Joe
thinks
bloody
that way.
driving into the city every day for work.
That's what they think now, especially if they got 1,000 followers on Instagram or 2,000 followers on Instagram. And man, if you're a chick, it's even more crazy to navigate, because if you're 18 and you put a bikini photo up, dude, you got 4,000 followers today. Today, man. You got 4,000 plus. You got 100,000 followers today because you got a nice bikini photo on. How are you going to navigate that? Like, man, that's
You
impossible.
get positive reinforcements from what you look
you
like.
cannot do any
for who
wrong.
you are.
No, but you're correct. And whether it's what you look like or what you've achieved or the music you make or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can't do wrong. You can't do wrong if everybody's just groveling at your feet and going, oh my God, you're the best, you're amazing. Oh my God, honey, baby, whatever. Oh my God, dude, you're amazing. Look at your abs. But man, like, you can't evolve as a human being when all you receive is positivity.
You're not? No. Well,
You can't.
Positivity means you're doing it right. You don't have to change.
Casey,
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, and a follow. Check out all our different social media platforms. There's heaps of content coming out. There's different snippets and content on different platforms. So make sure you're on everything. And again, if it helped you out, recommend to somebody else, and hopefully it'll help them out too.